All right, perfect. I think everybody joined. Awesome. You feel free to turn on your cameras if you want to. When you if you have any questions, you can, use the microphone. You don't have to chat. It's up to you. Today we have our like monthly career cafe. If you attended one of our career cafes, you know that they're like more on there's a lot of discussions, like we answer a lot of questions. So, like in the next hour, we're going to try to answer any questions that you might have and provide you with some advice, hopefully. I'm going to start and introduce myself. My name is Katarina. I'm an HR manager and career coach. I've been in HR for over 5 years, and I work for a healthcare service provider. And I also, help Devant with facilitating some of their workshops.
Great.
Dalia.
And my name is Dalia. I am a career coach with Devant as well. I help internationally trained professionals and international students build sustainable career paths here in Canada. So I've been an international student myself, and I am happy to share everything that I've learned.
Awesome.
Wonderful. So we wanted to tell you a little bit about Devant. Devant actually is a French word meaning in front of, devant. And it has helped over 25,000 job seekers across Canada since we've started. We host weekly events. We host live workshops and live events like these ones, over 500 career development events since 2019. And we're also connected to a network of employers here in Canada, so over 30 employers. We also sometimes host job fairs, so keep an eye out on that. Those are great get hired at home events.
Okay, perfect. And just some housekeeping stuff. This is a very interactive workshop. Like I said, we're very hoping that we're going to have a really great discussion. So feel free to turn on your Microsoft and cameras. If you want, you can ask questions in the chat window. So Dalia or myself will read that question and we'll try to answer it. And this session, it's recorded. So I think all of you have received that small notification letting you know that this session will be recorded. And in the next couple of slides, we are going to talk a little bit about next events and some things that you need to know. So that being said, we can start with just asking you what are, asking you what are your wins this week? And also if you want to tell us, you can talk about your challenges as well. Do you want to just, share a little bit and maybe we can, we can try and help you and, answer your questions. If you don't, if you don't have any wins or challenges this week, feel free to go ahead and just ask any questions that you might have. Very quiet group. So are you guys job searching?
Oh,
hi.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My name is Atiye. Nice to meet you all. I'm about graduate. This is my last semester at Algoma University, and I'm pursuing human resource and business management. My challenge is that I have been looking for internship positions from January, I believe, but no matter how much I change my resume, depends on the requirement or a cover letter, and try to do also many certification based on the requirement that they are asking. I have all of those, but still I have been rejected constantly. I don't know what is the key what is the key, how can I have some get some sort of acceptance from somewhere. And also I'm so active also on a LinkedIn. I've been trying doing so many strategies. I've been following also there was this kind of workshop also on Algoma University. I participated on that, and yes, what is the secret?
I can start. So are you looking for an HR co-op? or like an
Yes,
internship?
more,
Okay.
yes.
Yes. And is it this part of your program? Like, do you take credits, like for this placement or no?
No,
So
because
it's not a requirement for you to graduate, right?
no. But
Okay.
since I am the newcomer here and
Mhm.
I have like other experiences, but I don't have any Canadian experience. So this is another problem that I believe that I've been rejected many times.
I personally don't think that it might be an obstacle. Absolutely. Like myself, I'm an international student. I studied HR here in Canada, and I know how hard it was, like in the beginning, and my co-ops helped me actually to build my experience. But I think the number one probably reason why you're not getting, it's because it's not for credits. It's not a requirement for you to graduate. Doesn't matter, like HR can be like any type of program. The companies, they try to offer first placements, co-ops, or internships to the students that actually need that for credits to graduate. That would be number one reason, right? And you will
Sure.
see the applications, usually they will say like if it's for credits or not. So if they ask that, if you just say no, like I don't need this, like this is not a requirement for my program, then probably you will be like automatically rejected because they're just focusing on people they need to take that credit to graduate. That's the number one thing. I understand like what you said about the experience. Sometimes companies do that. If they don't see that you have an experience, usually they want somebody who has some experience, but you can overcome that by looking for some volunteer HR opportunities.
Mhm.
There is a bunch of volunteer opportunities. One organization that I volunteer for like few years, it's called Save the Water. It's
Mhm.
US based nonprofit, and they always have some HR postings, whether it's in recruitment, in HR admin, and it's pretty good because it's completely online and you work whenever you have time throughout the day. And you can put that on your resume and you don't have to say that it's a volunteer position because you actually do the work. That's a legit organization that actually they help globally to remove the chemicals from the water. So that's one organization, but I would Google it and find some volunteer roles because you're in school and you don't need this for credit. So you don't have like a certain amount of hours to complete in order to graduate, right? So you have more options, right? You can find two like volunteer opportunities and just like and get more experience. This will help you to meet people, to connect with people, and these people might help you after you get a job. Because in Save the Water, even though it's like a US base, there is a lot of people from Canada that volunteer. If you
Perfect.
see that you're not finding, like if you're not getting accepted, and do you apply to co-op like job postings, or you apply to anything?
I also try, honestly, I also try with the entry level positions. I know that some of them request for like having a degree, but some no. Since I have like a little bit of experience like back in home, so I thought that I could also apply for them, but still no chance. I know that is
um,
a hectic time, but
and you know what, the job market now slowed a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, like even like my team is trying to hire for, we are like completely different, the healthcare, but we realized that like for any type of like of roles, like it slowed down a little bit this like couple of months. And then what's happening with the IT sector, like melting down, a lot of layoffs, so maybe that's why. But I was going to say something else. Volunteer, you said that you do LinkedIn, so that's good. Are you graduating soon?
yes, like this is just 1 month is left till I finish with the studies.
Mhm.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So
Another thing that might like worked is do you have like a part-time job? Can be anything like retail, like hospitality, because you can use the transferable skills from there, and especially in HR, like problem solving, customer service, like communication skills, like try to maybe like build a resume focusing on the skills instead of just like putting like the whole experience.
well, the funny part was that I also applied for the retail retail job. I've got also an interview, and it seems to be like work out pretty well. But then I think there were not so many number of applicants, so eventually I was And at some point, I just stopped looking for those jobs. So I thought, okay, let me focus more on my studies and if something more specific in HR. But yeah, I think that for that matters, especially for the customer service for HR, it's really important.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you know what, like you have to keep trying because it's not easy. You can find like something right away. Usually they say if you like send 50 application and you receive one call or you schedule one interview, it's a success.
Oh,
You know, like I know that like the numbers are just crazy, but actually that's the formula. That's what they say. You apply to 50 positions, and if you get one or two interviews, that's like a big success. So don't get discouraged, like keep trying. The field is very competitive too. There's like a lot of like every university and every college like offers HR programs. So there's like a lot of people that have that experience, and don't forget the internationally trained HR professionals coming, you know, like from different countries and settling in Canada. So the competition is big, but you just like have to keep trying, keep networking using LinkedIn, tailor your resume according to the job description, you know, like connect with people, you will find something. Just keep trying. And I know sometimes it's hard because it takes time. You like find something, tailor the resume, submit the application, but you know, like you have to keep doing because like sometimes it takes like 6 months to find a job.
sure. And lastly, is there any like, I don't know whether is that part of this workshop also to like to go through the resume, and if there is something that we should like improve with any part of it?
There is, we offer like resume writing and like meeting with the career coach. Or there's like some options. We can talk about that at the end, so you can see you know, like the pricing and what you can get like in that package. But there are some packages about meeting with the career coach. The career coach will review, you know, like your resume, and then we'll like let you know, kind of like discuss the things that you might like remove, include, add, what to do, talk about the job search. You will have like full hour to, you know, like meet one-on-one with the coach. Dalia and myself are career coaches, and we have other career coaches on the website, and you can pick with whoever you want to talk.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
no
will
worries.
take your time.
Yeah, no problem. Like I wanted to ask Dalia if she has anything else to add.
I think you've pretty much covered it. I very much second volunteering as a great way to build experience. And another thing is, how do you keep motivated? Like Katarina said, it's a long road filled with a lot of no's. And how do you keep going when the doors keep getting closed? In my experience, it helps to have different plans. So in my job search and with my clients, we create a short-term plan, a medium-term plan, and then a long-term plan. Your long-term plan is going to have your ideal job description, the job in HR that you would want to have, let's say after graduation, and you're ready to enter professionally. And then your short-term plan would be kind of running down the essential skills that are needed for your ideal job, and then trying to figure out how do you do these things. So volunteering, like Katarina said, and customer service jobs are great. If you don't want to do retail, consider front desk positions in all sorts of places. Community centers have front desks, businesses have front desk. And in that position, you're going to gain a lot of customer service skills, but also a lot of admin skills that you can then take on and add to your resume to get your more professional job. And really the reason why you have all these plans is to remember that when things get hard right now, that's just an in the moment hurdle. It's a problem for this particular plan, and it's not an overall issue that you can't work through. So keep at it. You're doing all the right things. And with persistence, it'll happen.
Thank you so much. That was super helpful.
And another thing, and I think this should be like for everybody, it's important if you're job searching to kind of like have a plan what day, you know, like what time of the day you're like job searching. If, for example, you're not a morning person, I would not recommend to wake up at 7 in the morning and to start your job search, because you will be grumpy, you're not going to be happy, and you won't be able to put your full attention, you know, like to the job application. So just kind of like figure out what works for you. A lot of times when I was job searching, I will go and like I find articles online, or like I will read like some, like buy some plans, and they will say start at 7 a.m., you know, like until 10 a.m., like job search, 10 a.m., take a break. And like that doesn't work. We all have different schedules. We all have different lives, right? See what it works for you. Probably you've heard how many times people say the best way to go to the, like the best time to go to the gym is in the morning. If you're not a morning person, that doesn't work for you. And it's okay to go in the evening, like same effect. So same thing with the job search, right? Like try to find a time that works for you. If you're more productive in the evening, start applying in the evening from 6 until 10, like, you know, like sit, apply, and then be done. If you're a morning person, you want to like start the day and like spend like until 12 o'clock, just focus on applying, like do that as well. Like listen what everybody has to say and pick the things that work for you, because you know what works the best for you. We are here giving you this advice, but you just have to decide what works for you, because it's not like one, like this advice that fits everybody, right? Like we are all different. So just like try to find what works for you. But definitely take a break. You should not like be up like job searching for 10 hours. You will be exhausted. You cannot like, you know, like process the whole thing properly, or like it takes time to adjust your resume, to read the job description, find the specific keywords that you have to include, give yourself a break. I always say like searching for a job, it's a full-time job. So just like take your time. And I know sometimes the financial side is like completely like, you know, like a separate thing where you all need to like you work to get money, but like find a part-time job like at Tim Hortons or like at the local store, right? That will bring you some income while you're searching, like Dalia said, for your dream job.
Thank you. And is there any like specific number, like do we have to have it like target that like each day I should like apply for this amount of like, you know, positions or like job?
It's always nice to have kind of like a goal, and if you meet it every day, you will be happy and you feel productive. But it really depends on the day. Sometimes when you job search, there might not be like new jobs. So if there are no new jobs and you've been job searching for 2 weeks, you already applied to every new posting that has been up on LinkedIn or Indeed or like any other job board, right? It's always good like to apply and set up target, like some goals. Let's say like if it's like very busy, apply to 5 to 10 jobs per week, per day, right? If you can do that. Some days might not have any new jobs, and there's like just one, and then if you apply to that one, it's still a success because you spend some time looking at the job boards. You didn't find anything that like fits, you know, like kind of like it's something that you like, and then just apply to the one that like you really think it's a good fit. Like sometimes when you read the job description, if you don't like it, and if you don't think it's a good fit for you, right? Like, then I don't, you know, like I don't think that you should apply, because in my experience, people quit after a month.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's also important to keep your goals as flexible as humanly possible. You don't want to frustrate yourself with things that you've put in place. I said that I'm going to apply to 20, and if I don't, then I failed today. That's not helpful in the long term for your mental health. Something that I personally like to do, because I'm a task-oriented person, I put task goals. So for a certain day, for example, the goal that I'm reaching for is to complete my cover letter. And that's a task rather than say, complete 4 cover letters. I'm saying do this particular thing. And if you write 1 sentence in your cover letter and you're done for the day, awesome. If you write 4 cover letters, also great. So your goal there is not restricting you.
Exactly. Yeah. Like just like you said, different things for like works, you know, like one thing works like differently for like a lot of people. So just like find what works for you and don't get like overwhelmed, because it is already overwhelming, like looking for a job and getting rejected or not getting like, you know, like called for an interview. It's honestly like when you read like that rejection email, it's even though you're like, oh, okay, like I know, but still like hits, like you're like, ah, really? Like why? Like I'm such a good candidate. So we understand. Any other questions?
Like apart from LinkedIn and Indeed, so what are the websites so we can apply for the full-time jobs or even part-time?
There is Glassdoor.
Mm-hmm.
There is Monster, Job Bank with the government. There are like a lot of jobs like posted in there on Job Bank. I'm not sure if Workopolis still exists. It might not, but that's like another job board. But I'm going to be very honest with you, like the most, I should not say most popular, but like all of the companies either use LinkedIn or Indeed. So you're not going to find like something on Monster that it's not on Indeed or LinkedIn. LinkedIn and Indeed are the most popular, and I would definitely like just like search there because there's like so much. And also try like Job Bank, because in there you can see the compensation. Sometimes you can they post a little bit more information than some postings on Indeed on LinkedIn. But always look at Glassdoor too, because Glassdoor it's pretty good. Like a lot of people answer questions about the company, about the compensation, right? Like some interview questions. You might find, let's say, I'm just gonna pick an example, like HR assistant at Google, right? And if you go like on Glassdoor, you might find some interview questions that the HR assistant like had an interview with Google, and then they will like list in there, so you can kind of like have some idea like how the interview will look like. So that's the good thing about Glassdoor. Indeed, you can read a little bit about the company, reviews from previous, like for like former employees or like candidates. So it's good, like I think LinkedIn, Indeed, and Glassdoor are the most popular. Dalia, what do you think?
I agree. I think the job bank is also a good resource because basically it's just a magnet. It's pulling for you job postings from different places. And it's a good place to kind of see everything in the same place. And also if you have target companies, if you know you would be interested, for example, to work for Fido, each website has their own career page. So you can basically Google the name of the company plus careers. It'll give you their career page. And it's always worth it, in my experience, to check out those career pages, especially if you have a clear target. Like, I would really like to work for this company. It's worth the search.
That reminded me right now, like LinkedIn has now this pretty great tool. Let's say if you go like and find Google, the Google page on LinkedIn, there is an option at the bottom that says, I'm interested in working for you. And if you click on that, it will notify the recruiter of Google, and then will share your LinkedIn profile. And if like new jobs like pop up, you will receive them. So I would like go and like find like companies that you want to work for on LinkedIn, just click I'm interested. So the recruiters will receive your profile. You never know what's going to happen. Again, looking like Dalia said on their like career websites, that's another thing. And then another thing that we use like as my team uses to recruit people, it's create a free profile on Indeed. Because when you create a free profile on Indeed, whoever has the subscription to the Indeed resume database, your profile will pop up. And let's say if somebody's looking for like an engineer, right? If you create a profile and say that you're looking for a job, it will be the first thing that will pop up. And we every day receive notifications. It's a new candidate creates a free profile on Indeed and shares their resume. So I would recommend like doing those two things for sure, because a lot of people handhunt, but now like they use a lot LinkedIn and Indeed. And we've been like the most successful with LinkedIn and Indeed. So definitely like do those things. It won't take you time. You just create your kind of like profile on Indeed where you put your whole resume, and then just click like I'm looking for jobs, and then resume will pop up to all of the recruiters that use the Indeed resume database. And with LinkedIn, we also like my company has like my team has like a LinkedIn recruiter profile, and that's how we find also candidates. If they share they're interested with us, their profile will pop up, or even they will come up in the search. So definitely do those things. It won't cost you anything. It literally takes like a second, but it might be successful like along the like down the road, and then you will keep receiving notifications that they have posted something. And if something that you like, you can go ahead and apply.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries.
And one more, like we see the job like the job posting in the company like through LinkedIn. It's better to apply from the LinkedIn website or from company's website, which will be the more efficient.
Yeah, it will tell you. So some of the positions, if it says like easy apply, then it like allows you to apply through LinkedIn. You can always check and see if they have like a posting on their website. And I think it's easier maybe to go like through the website, but like some of them, like even when you click apply on LinkedIn, it will lead you to their application on their website.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm asking like, is it more effective when we apply through a company website or more effective if we apply through LinkedIn?
I don't think that it gives you like two options, but if it might give you like two options, to be honest, it doesn't matter because they're looking at both applications.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, like I know that some of them might give you like two options, but I don't think that's like, I'm not sure, like, but I know that for us, when we post, it like literally asks us if we want to use LinkedIn to like get all the applications, or we want like to redirect the candidates to our website. So you can choose either or, and whatever, like the person, like the recruiter like chooses, that's how like all the applications will be like redirected.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And one more thing, I have one more doubt. Like I'm using the job analytics extension, like to get the percentage of the job description as with along with my resume. So how many percent will be good enough to apply?
I know that previously they said like the higher the percentage, the better.
Mhm.
But to be honest with you, like I would rely on that, but I would not, like, I wouldn't think that that's the reason why I'm getting, like, if you're getting rejected. Makes sense? Because not every company has an ATS. So if a company doesn't have ATS, which is the applicant tracking system, the applicant tracking system selects the resumes from the applicants by keywords, right? So like the job, like the thing that you mentioned kind of like helps you and lets you know, oh, like if the company has an ATS, then like if you have like 80%, right, then your resume might be picked. But a lot of companies don't use an ATS. And then the recruiter like reviews the applications, right? So that's what I'm like, there are like sometimes you will know if some company uses like an ATS, and sometimes you won't know. So that's why I would not rely that much on, like, it would be nice to be like in the higher percentage, but even if you're like 60 or like 70, I think you should be fine. Because I know that a lot of times it will say, oh, like you're not getting this percentage, and like get the paid version and pay, right? So I'm not sure, like I would rather like invest in something else, like where like resume helping, or like some career coaching, or like cover letter help, like stuff like that, that will help, or like interview help, right? To get you ready like for interview. I would not, like, my opinion, like I would not, and even when I was job searching, I didn't pay for it, and I like stopped using it because it was like discouraging me. Every time when I would like post a job, it will say like 20% or 30%. And I got a job, like without like running my resumes through that like app. So that's what I'm saying, like use it, but don't kind of like think, oh my goodness, if I don't have like 100%, that's it, like I'm not going to get the job. So I'm not saying that like it's 100% relevant. So Dalia, what do you think?
I say don't let it stop you, right? It's just another opinion generated by software, but still it's one reading of what your resume could be interpreted as. So it's good to have that information and to see, okay, if there's an ATS system, then I'm following it up. But it's also important to remember that nobody will fit the job description 100%. And in fact, when they're hiring and advertising a job, they know that. That we're not going to find somebody that fits everything. So don't beat yourself up if you don't fit everything. Apply and let them decide if this resume matches what they're looking for, rather than letting a separate software decide if that resume is worth applying with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. A job description is just the employer's wish list. They wish, like the candidate to have like some of these skills. And if you kind of like have every single skill listed on that like job description, you might be overqualified. So, right, like, so just like think, if you have 50% or 60%, if you meet of the requirement, go ahead and apply. Even with 30%, I would go ahead and apply. You never know. A lot of people now like hire for like character. I hire also for personality, for like passion, how like eager people are, because I can teach you the hard skills. I can teach you like the software that you need to use, right? Like it is important, you know, like how you present yourself. Like if you're a good person, your attitude, that's where like a lot of issues come after. So a lot of companies like really focus on that now, on the soft skills, because hard skill can be learned, but the soft skills is something that you need to have. So that's why like apply. And if you don't get picked, you don't get picked, but you tried, and you're not going to be thinking, oh, like I didn't apply. What if maybe they would like, you know, like select me? So I would say go ahead and apply. If, for example, now they're looking for like a director role and you're an entry level, yes, like that would not be like a good fit because they were looking for somebody with 10 years of experience and you're just entering the field, right? But like for some roles, for they're looking like 2 to 3 years of experience. If you're entry level, I will go ahead and apply. You never know. A lot of people, like a lot of companies now focus on training. Like even me, like as an HR manager, like I really, if I see that somebody's like teachable and then we can like train them, I'm not worried if they don't have like all of the skills that I listed in the job description, because I know the role, I know the job, and I know what can be done. So same thing with every hiring manager that you're going to meet. They know the job, they know what they can teach you, and they know what is important for you to have as a skill.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody else?
Hi, I am Vincent Chen. I have a question about the ATS system. So with the company really use ATS to screen the candidates, and the percentage does not meet certain percentage, will the HR staff really don't take a look on the resumes?
But you know what, like a lot of times with the ATS, what happens is you might miss really good candidates, because some people, you know, like might not tailor the resume according to the job description, and because of, you know, like not meeting the, you know, like the criteria that like the ATS has, you might kind of like meet some, you know, like miss some people. That's what you're saying, that the percentage like doesn't. Can you just like say that again? I'm just like making sure that I understand correctly. So you use the ATS to get the applicants?
Yeah, I mean, what with I just got 30%, so the HR will not even take a look on my resumes, right?
How do you know that you got 30%?
From there are some software online to compare the job description with my resume and then get the percentage.
Oh, the completely different software, probably the software that like we were mentioning before, right? Like that's what you're trying to say, that like you just like put your job like resume on like an tool that tells you like if you're going to pass the ATS, and just ask the like 30%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like we said before, you know, like the Dalia and I like talk about this. I would not like focus my whole attention on that, even though like they say like, oh, like it's just like 30%. A lot of people review those applications, and they might like see it and be like, okay, like this is a good applicant. That doesn't mean that because like some tool said that you just like passed 30, you know, like your resume is like has 30% and you didn't pass the ATS, that you know, like you're not going to get a call from like company or from some company, because not all of them use ATS, and sometimes you cannot tell if they use ATS or not, right? So like you never know, maybe your resume, even though like that tool said that like only meet like 30% of the criteria, that resume might go straight to like a recruiter, and the recruiter like will read and like kind of like see that, oh, you have the skill, like we're going to interview this person. So I would not be like that, you know, like worried what like the tool said, because not everybody uses an ATS. That's one thing. Another, yeah, go on.
But what if I know that the organization really use ATS in their screening?
They use like in the job description?
Yeah, I do some research and found that
Okay.
those companies will use ATS. And so if I really don't get a certain percentage, and does the HR will not even take a look on my resumes?
So if the percentage is very low, I will start working on like reading, printing the job description, or like saving it in a Word document. Try to highlight the keywords and then try to include them in the resume and kind of like run it again through like that tool and see what percentage it's going to give. But all I'm trying to say is just because the tool said that, oh, like it's just 30%, you're not meeting the eligibility criteria, that doesn't mean that, you know, like you're not meeting. Maybe like some company, even though they use ATS, the resume might go through because they all have different type of criteria, because that is like a general, right? Like it tells you like in general, because you post job posting and then you upload your resume and they compare, right? So like that's what the tool does, but like you never know how like the ATS work. Maybe like they pick on like just like the big words, and then your resume might like pass.
Yeah.
Right. So just like focus, like try to spend as much time as you can to read the job description, highlight the keywords, include them in the resume, and then see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
And just, yeah, and don't like focus only on like applying through like Indeed and LinkedIn. Try also to build your network and connect with managers on LinkedIn. Now that COVID is over, there's like a lot of networking events, and this like it's for everybody. Try to go like and meet people in your field, because that's like also another way for you to find a job or like to connect with professionals. Okay, so like focus on that. Even email the hiring manager, just say, hey, like I'm looking for a job, you know, like, or just like, hi, I just wanted to connect with you, and then like see what they're posting. That's another way to reach out and kind of like go over the ATS. Just send the resume directly to the hiring manager. Go like on Google, try to find their email and email them, right? A lot of companies have like HR email. So try to find the HR email on their website. A lot of times they're posting that, and send your resume to the HR email. Everybody has like a general HR email where they collect, you know, like applications for every job that they have open. So like try to do that, right? Like don't just like, you should not, like all of you should not be just like applying on LinkedIn and Indeed. You should try different things like networking, connect with people on LinkedIn, try to go like on their website, find the manager's email or find the HR email, send your resume, cover kind of like all of your bases, try different things. Also, like when it comes to networking, doesn't mean just like going and attending an event. Talk about your job search to everybody, to friends. If you go to like do your nails, tell your nail lady. I'm telling you, like my nail lady told me, like brought so many applicants to me. She always says like, hey, like I have this customer that is an HR manager. I tell her like, I'm looking for this position. I'm looking for this position when we talk. And then when I go like on my next appointment, she'll be like, you know what? Like we had a customer that is looking for an HR internship. Do you have anything open? And I'm like, let me look. Like, I'm telling you like these ways, I know that it's funny, but just like talk. Like, I'm not saying go like to like the hairdresser and say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for a job. But like when you start talking, you know, like you kind of like, you can, there is like a room to say that. So try to talk to family members, to friends, you know, like a friends of friends, like they might know somebody that might help you. That's all. I know that everybody's like on LinkedIn and Indeed, but not a lot of people uses these other opportunities, because sometimes it takes like a lot of work, right? To go and find an event, attend the event. And then, you know, like the nerves, you're like a little bit, you know, like nervous, like how I'm going to go alone to this event and how I'm going to meet people, right? You have to get out of your comfort zone. But believe me, like those connections are really good, because those are business connections and you can connect on LinkedIn. You never know who might help you.
Yeah, I do use LinkedIn to try to reach out some people in the professional, and I try to ask for a coffee chat with some engineer managers. So
exactly. No, that's amazing. And then like reminded me of like informational interviews. You guys know what an informational interview is?
No.
Because that might help you. So informational interview, it's pretty much you just reach out to a manager or somebody in the field that you want to talk to, and you just like you, Vincent, said, like, I just want to have like an informational interview with you over like Zoom or even like a coffee chat, and just ask them questions about the role. Just say, what is the biggest challenge, you know, like in your role? How did you like get where you are? Like, tell me about your career path. A lot, like most professionals know about informational interviews, and they know that, you know, like people, like candidates, they want to learn and they want to kind of like have an idea what to do next. So it's nice, you know, like they want to guide people. So like that's something that you can do, because they know that you're not asking them to look at your resume or you're looking for a job. You just like want information about the field. So it's really nice. Like I remember when I was job searching, I had like a couple of informational interviews. They were amazing. I spoke with like an HR director. So she told me kind of like about her career path and what should I do, you know, like in order to find the job that I wanted to find. I spoke with like an HR recruiter. She also told me about like her career path. So it's nice to kind of like hear people, they've been in the field for like quite some time, and to give you some advice, because everybody's path is different, and it's nice to hear from like different people, and might give you some ideas like what to do and how to apply for the job.
Yeah.
I would definitely Google informational interviews and kind of like learn a little bit more. You definitely can find some info on Google or like LinkedIn, some of the free courses.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, can I share an experience on this networking situation?
Yes.
Please.
Hi. Yeah, so I think one thing that helps is Eventbrite as well, this app called Eventbrite, where there's a lot of free events that happen. So you can just actually find hiring events as well. So I actually went to a hiring event not too long ago at the company's office. Actually, they were hosting a hiring event. It was free, and I met and talked with the recruiters in person. Then they were the ones who took my resume on paper, and then we followed up on LinkedIn as well. So it was like personal connections, talked to them a lot, followed up over email and everything. But even then, although there was a position that was open, and I was quite confident that like they already know me, they like my profile over words and over even resume, but I didn't really get a call back from them or like a response from them. So would you suggest we do in those situations where we are going the extra mile, make yourself seen and applying, but then still we don't get like an answer or something? So what do you recommend for that kind of situations?
Yeah, you know what? Like it's the same thing with your job applications, right? You apply to so many jobs and you're not getting a response, or like you're getting rejected if you get an interview. Like with the networking thing happen. Doesn't mean if you meet somebody and like they look over your resume or like connect with them that like they're going to hire you or going to be their like favorite or like top applicant, right? Like a lot of times like some like things like that happen, but I would still recommend to keep doing. Same thing with like it's kind of like part of your job search, and it's nice like to do these things like like sometimes. I'm not saying that you have to go like a network every day, but I recommend to keep doing, because like not all networking events will be successful, but still you gain something. You met a person, you're like connected with them on LinkedIn, and maybe like in 6 months they might reach out to you. You never know, you still make that connection. And it's nice to like to have that, even though like she didn't reach out to you. And that's another thing that sometimes recruiters do. Any managers do, hiring managers, they might not respond to your email, or they might not like give you an answer why you're not hired. I would just say like that it's like it's not a very good advice, but you just have to like get used to it and just like keep moving, keep going, because that will happen. You will get rejected. People might not respond to your like email or like to your call.
Right. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Anything that I'd like, obviously I'm sure whoever job searches were kind of used to that, what they call ghosting and whatever.
Exactly.
But this was just a little odd to me, because that event was a hiring event, and they were so confident about it, and they're the ones who were like constantly telling me, what, like do it right now and everything. I was like, yeah, sure. So I made sure I gave everything to them on time. So yeah, like there are experiences where even when we go the extra mile, it still doesn't really go accordingly. So just wanted to share that experience because it was pretty new recently that happened. So yeah.
Okay. Did you follow up with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
they didn't respond to your email?
They do respond on LinkedIn, and then on the email or on the posting, I didn't get a follow-up, and then I got really busy with school because I'm in school still. So yeah, maybe I'll follow up next month. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely follow up and just say, like, because a lot of times email might get missed, you know, like they might think, like it happens to me a lot of times. That's why I have like a list of things that I need to do. But like sometimes I will think that I already respond to that email and I will like move it into a folder. You know, like it happens if you're busy. So it's nice like to send a follow-up email and just say, hey, just wanted to follow up. I submitted, you know, like my resume and cover letter for like this role and name the role, right? For example, like an administrative assistant role, right? I just wanted, you know, like to see if you have any update, and then see, you know, like what's going to happen. Because a lot of times if they're like understaffed or they're busy, they might miss that. Or sometimes they wait like for a month after they get like all of the applicants, and then they will start the recruitment. But it's nice for you to kind of like keep popping in their emails and LinkedIn so they won't forget about you.
The idea is that you have to stay on people's radar. It's very possible, like Irina said, that things got overwhelming. They got a whole bunch of emails and a whole bunch of applications, and they said, I'll get to it in a minute. And then life got in the way. It's also possible that they've hired, and it's also possible that they've tabled the whole hiring conversation for now. Sometimes jobs become open, and then organizations are like, you know what, never mind, we're not hiring for this right now. Budget restraint, all sorts of different things. But what's really nice about these connections is that if you foster them, even if you don't see a short-term gain, you can really gain a lot in the long term by staying on people's radar and just staying engaged with them. LinkedIn is a great place to do that, so that they've met you, they know you're competent, they've seen your resume, and they have you in their mind as a good candidate. So by staying on their radar, you may be offered jobs that are not posted. Something that we didn't talk about is the invisible job board, basically. And these connections can give you access to that invisible job postings and job market. So you're doing all the right things, and just stay on their radar.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing.
No, for sure. I also had another question. I joined a little late. You know, as international students, are there any particular sites that you would recommend? Of course, LinkedIn, Indeed, these are like, you know, known worldwide. So everyone kind of knows about it, but are there any, you know, any sites that you guys might know that have helped people in particular? If you could share that, that would be great.
We talked, we mentioned actually Glassdoor, because
Glassdoor.
Yes, and then Job Bank, and I think Dalia has shared the link in the chat window. So you can find Job Bank. It's pretty cool, and you can also set up kind of like to receive notifications if like a new job is posted. So it will kind of like send you like an email with like 5-6 jobs. So it's really nice to kind of like have that, and you can apply to those jobs. But I would say like Glassdoor and Job Bank, and also try Monster. A lot of people like post on Monster too, and see what it's in there, right? I know that like a few years ago there was like Workopolis, but I'm not sure if that still exists.
Sorry,
but
what?
It was like Workopolis. That's what it's called. It's a job. But I'm not sure if that still exists, because I remember like 5-6 years ago it was very popular.
Nice. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Something else you might want to look at, I'm not sure which school you go to, but when I was graduating, I found the job board in my university's website quite helpful. They had like a career center and things like that. So sometimes universities have that.
Yeah,
and they help
we actually
me get a job.
have the job fair that happens. It's virtual. So it happens like once a semester. So the one already happened in June, and then another one is probably happening in October. And since it's virtual, you don't really get like a lot of opportunity to kind of have that value, you know, because it's like it's breakout rooms and you got to meet like all the students go to there. So it's not I wouldn't say less effective. It's just that, you know, like the recruiters kind of get overwhelmed as well, and it's all virtual. So there's connectivity issues, blah, blah, blah.
Makes sense.
So yeah, but yeah, I think the physical ones are also helpful. So Eventbrite has been something that I've been trying to, kind of do network with even other people who are working so they can maybe share referral links in their companies as well. Is that something we're trying to do over here as well, like build those relationships with you guys? So maybe at some point of time you guys can refer us if your company ever hires. Is there like a possibility for that here?
I think if there's like a opportunity at Devant, there probably will be posted,
Okay.
right? Yeah, for sure. But I don't think that like they're hiring right now. But I think what Dalia was like saying is every kind of like college and university, they have their own job board. I went to Georgian College in Barrie, and our job board was called Orbis. And then when you go on Orbis, you can find like one whole like page of like non-co-op related jobs, can be anything, and then
Right.
one page with just like co-op jobs that like the companies like team up with like the college, and they say, okay, like we need like a co-op student. So that's might be like something where you can look at. The competition, it's huge because probably like every single student that goes to your school looks like at that job postings.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, right? Like, but it's worth it to apply, because
Yeah.
you never know if you sorry, like I'm maybe I didn't I missed this, but what roles are you looking for right now?
No, it's okay. I didn't share. So I am currently enrolled in project management. So I have experience as a management consultant and a business analyst. And I was working for Deloitte before moving here to Canada. So yeah, I'm kind of looking for like PM roles, BA roles, consultant roles, around that area. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Like having the Deloitte experience, it's pretty good because they're huge here in Canada too. And they always, like, I always see like they're hired for like something. So
Mhm.
definitely like follow them. I'm not sure if you like, I know that you said that you attended a little bit late, but I was sharing how on LinkedIn now, if you go on the company page, there is an
Mhm.
option to say like to click and just, it says like, I'm interested in like working with you, something like that. And if you click on it, your LinkedIn profile will be shared with the recruiters at Deloitte. So if there's like any opportunities, if they post something, you will receive a notification, and also they will have your resume, so your LinkedIn profile kind of like on file. So
Okay.
if you're interested in working again for them, I would just go and find them on LinkedIn, click that button, so they will have your profile and you will receive notifications if like they're hiring. And also I would follow them on their page on LinkedIn. So once you follow them, every single day you will receive notifications if they have posted something.
Okay, yeah, I heard of that feature. Yeah, I need to start using that. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
no worries.
thank you.
Honestly, it takes like 2 seconds. You just find the company on LinkedIn page, click on it, and then you're good to go.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes left. Do you have any questions for us?
Hi, I have a question for you. I joined late as well. I want to know if you can drop an insight on phone interview, like phone screening interview, or maybe you have spoken about it because I joined late.
Actually, no, we didn't talk about phone interviews, but phone interviews are pretty much the preliminary like interviews where the recruiter, like, they have a group of, like they have like a bunch of applications, and they pick like people that they think they're a good fit, and now they start like phone screening based on, like they ask like a very short questions. Like there might be like, are you looking for full-time or part-time? Really depends on the role, right? Like, why do you want to work here? Pretty much they're going to ask you like to tell them a little bit about yourself. So it's important to get ready and kind of like have like prepared answers, and especially about, like, why do you want to work here? What do you know about the company? Definitely do your like research before you do like the phone screen interview. Some people ask about strengths, weaknesses, right? Like just like try to kind of like know what the company is, know about the job, right? So make sure that you save the job description before you apply. and then try to answer those questions. But the phone interviews are very short, can be anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes. And it's just to get to know you a little bit better and see like if based on the first impression and what you're going to say to them, if you're going to be a good fit or if you're going to move like to the next round. They usually ask about your experience. So be ready to share, you know, like your experience, and make sure that you read the job description and just like answer the kind of like tell them what they want to hear, right? If they're looking for somebody with good customer service skills and good problem solving skills, make sure that you mention that while you know, like during when you're sharing your experience. So you need to be prepared. I would say practice. You can practice in front of the mirror. You can, you know, like practice with like a family member or like a friend, right? Or like just practice out loud. You need to be prepared, because if you don't practice for an interview, like 99% of the times you know, like you might not present yourself the way that, you know, like probably you would if you have practice. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
No worries. Anybody else? We have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. So I have applied on LinkedIn and received from some recruiters about like your resume was reviewed, and so I was wondering, so how what follow-up mail I shall be sending the recruiters.
So the recruiter reached out to you and let you know that they reviewed your resume?
Yeah, I saw that on the website, like on the LinkedIn page, that my resume was reviewed.
Okay.
So till what time, or how shall I approach now? Or
So
what
you know
shall
what,
I
like,
keep?
yeah, so like recruiters like review profiles on LinkedIn a lot of times. I know what you're talking about. Every week you will receive like a notification and it will tell you who is looking at your
Exactly.
profile. Yes. So like a lot of people might look based on keywords, or maybe they're looking for like Ankit, and then everybody that like name is Ankit, it will pop up, and that's how like they found your profile. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily mean that they were looking for, you know, like for hiring. Like it's always like different things. But if they reviewed your profile and they didn't reach out to you, maybe like they didn't think that you're a good fit, right? Like maybe they're looking somebody with like more experience. It doesn't mean that like your resume is not good, and maybe like it's not the right fit for the role that they're hiring. If you wanna like be more proactive, you can always connect with them. You know, like just say like, hi, right? Just say to them like, you pop up on my, you know, like kind of like, I think there's like how it's called, like homepage, whatever. I just wanted, you know, like to connect with you, and then see, you know, like what's gonna happen. But
yeah, I did that.
again, like we all receive those notifications, but doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, like they're looking for a job. A lot of times, like I will see, because on LinkedIn, when that notification comes, if you click on it and you scroll down, it will tell you based on what keywords they found your profile. For example, like when I receive mine, sometimes it says like hiring manager or like assistant manager. That has nothing to do with HR, right? But my name popped up because I have manager in my job title. And that's why like they reviewed my profile. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Dalia, do you have anything to add?
I'll add that if you're interested, definitely reach out to them. It's really hard to put yourself out there. I know it gets really awkward also, just messaging random people, asking them for jobs, but this is the reality of the job search, and you only need one yes. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So go for it, ask, and if they say no, then hey, just another no. But if they say yes, you got a job. Go for it.
For the starting 2 or 3 applications, I was like, how should I send the message to the recruiters? But now it has been like 50 applications on the LinkedIn and Indeed. So I'm just not stopping for that. I just need to keep on following up. That's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And it gets easier with time. You get like more experience, you know how to handle those conversations.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for asking all of these questions. It was a great discussion. I really hope that it was helpful and you can apply some of this, some of the things that we have talked today in your job search. And I'm sure that all of you will find something soon, so don't give up, keep going. I just want to like share some of the upcoming events that we have with Devant. So next week, that's Wednesday, June 28th, there is a workshop about decoding the job posting. So maybe this is exactly what you need, like to attend to help you with your job search. Then on July 5th, we have building soft skills for social connections. July 12th, we have perfecting your LinkedIn profile. And then on July 19th, we have another career cafe. So you can also find this on the Devant website. So definitely check it out and go and sign up. They are free. Some of the like things that we offer at Devant, there's like one-on-one career coaching, and right now we have a promotion. It's $95 per hour, and then you will work with coach one-on-one for 1 hour, and the coach can give you like feedback on your resume. You can talk about job search strategies, like your like LinkedIn profile, networking, everything that you kind of like you want to talk. You can ask any questions during that hour, help you with the resume, with your cover letter. So you can you can sign up for this on the Devant website. And we also have the resume writing service. We also have a promo right now, $79 is a one-time fee. And we have like a professionals that will look at your resume and they will help you, like create a really good resume that you can use for, like for applying, applying for your jobs. So they focus on like experience, achievements, right? Like they will tell you like things that you need to highlight. So you can visit, like Devant, and you can learn more about this services. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for attending. It was really nice, like talking to you and having this wonderful discussions. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm sure, like Dalia, do you want to say anything? I know that I've
Thank you so much, everyone. It was lovely to meet you and hear all about your experiences. I have been there and I'm there with you guys. I have a lot of hope for your future, and I hope to see you again soon next week, decoding the job posting. Come see me. Let's talk. And until then, take care.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.